Welcome to Game of Roses. This is PaceCase.
This is BachelorClues. And we're done.
Hi.
With Love is Blind Season 9. Almost done with Love is Blind Season 9. We still have the reunion. This is just a fucking rough one, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think there's any way around that. We're going to be recapping today the titillating finale of Love is Blind Season 9.
Didn't see it
marriages.
Coming. Didn't see it coming.
I thought at least there would be one. Generally speaking, I don't think we've ever seen a season where there's zero. Have we?
I feel like I have, but I don't know what it was. It could have been one of the spinoffs. It turns out that we need a 4TRR couple.
Yep.
We need something to root for. The pure chaos season does not work.
My Google AI overview says, yes, Love is Blind Season 9, the Denver-based season, is the first season in the show's history to have no weddings.
Wowee.
So that's how you know it's bad.
I feel like you gotta feel like you messed up if you're producing that season. You don't get any?
Here's how it works, I think. It's just an experiment. Sometimes it's not going to work out. I don't think anybody from the season is losing their job. I don't think they're changing anything, which is a mistake. Like, in my opinion, if you're making a show like Love is Blind, I know it's this big juggernaut for Netflix. I know it's the most watched reality show, Netflix, blah, 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 blah. I get it. So they think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mm-hmm. But always, if you're making things like this, I think, especially iterative pieces of art where you're doing the same thing again and again and again, you should always be looking for ways to make it better every time. So far, they haven't really done that. They've just stuck to the formula, but there's a million little things they could tweak in the course of a season to make it better. Certainly in this season, casting was one of them.
Don't make the same mistakes that Bachelor has made of like getting so stuck in its own churn.
Yeah.
That it just kills itself.
Off your own supply. Before we dive into this, I do want to mention briefly, there is an article out in Vanity Fair right now that has some things with me in it. I have said some things in this article, you see. The article is called, Are Reality TV Stars Born or Can They Be Made? Meet the Coaches, Scripting Television's Best Unscripted Drama by Savannah Walsh. She interviewed me and I think some other people in this as well, if I remember from the reading, talking about what we do, how we coach people. One of them is a legit like performance coach who coaches people for TED Talks and like actors and stuff. And
like
then there's
media
me.
training.
I charge nothing for my services. I do it for the love of the game. To me, reality television is simply the most exciting video game I've ever played. And getting to sit back and essentially script scenes for players in these shows and watch them perform them. I get there are very few things in life, I should say, that give me as much pleasure as watching this piece of media, this form of media, really, that a lot of people think is real. And I'm literally creating it out of fiction from the comfort of my living room.
I mean, you have described them as your kids. You're like sending off to school, like, hope it goes well.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a, for me anyway, there's the closest that I think I will ever get to like a feeling of being a parent when I send one of my players off into one of the various games that I coach for. But it's an interesting article, and it's a good article to share with anybody out there who is in your life that believes any of this shit is real. I am living proof. It ain't. Like I said, I'm literally scripting dialogue for people to say while they're in these shows, and then they do it, and then people think it's real. But it's all preconceived. It's all 100% scripted. Check out the article. Like I said, it's in Vanity Fair.
I mean, there's been stuff that's come out about this Love is Blind season. I know Annie claimed that the discussion in which she and Nick are calling being gay a fad, she says the fad was about something else.
Yeah, she claims that entire conversation, not the entire conversation, but that big chunks of it were edited to seem this way or that way. We know the breakup scene between Joe and Madison actually happened the night before. And then the crew showed up the next day and said, now you have to act like this is the first time you broke up with each other. So we know that's completely fake as well. It is a scripted scene, or it's at least an improvisational scene based on a prior event, you know?
Yeah, I would say reality TV is improv. By the way, there is some huge Love is Blind news. Speaking of parents.
Yeah, we should mention
Love is Blind alums Lauren and Cameron Hamilton have had their first baby together.
Oh, wow.
Their son, Ezra. And they were trying for 4 years.
Congrats to the first family of Love is Blind. We should also note, before we get into this recap of the finale, there is some big tea that came out. Storytime with Rikkii was covering this. She has all the receipts. We're not going to produce them here, but if you want to see the actual legal documents, images, pictures, what have you, go to her TikTok, go to her YouTube, go to anywhere you get your Storytime with Rikkii. She has it all. She's doing the greatest work, I think, in terms of investigating all of these reality shows of anyone out there. But these are two big things, and one of them is a spoiler. But I mean, so is this entire episode. We're going to be going through everything that happened again in the finale. But,
if you haven't watched the finale,
don't watch this recap.
Go watch the finale. We will be talking spoilers.
Jesus. So the two big things that Storytime with Rikkii uncovered are thus. One, and this is the big spoiler, Megan Willarius, a.k.a. Megan Sparkle, a.k.a. Sparkle Megan, has a baby. And it ain't with Jordan. She is with another dude.
It's definitely her baby?
Well, now there's tea coming out that at the reunion, she's going to do the big reveal that I have a baby. But it's been spoiled. It's all over the internet. Like, you can find these pictures. I think People even, or not People, Us Weekly, I think, did a little thing about it. At any rate, so the Love is Blind season we just watched took place a year and a half ago. First of all, let that sink in. In that time, she obviously did not marry Jordan. We see that happen in the finale. In that time, she has met this other guy, carried his child. The child now draws breath. It is among us on our dying world, and she's going to reveal that at the finale.
This is a wild spoiler.
Yeah.
Especially considering the reason that she gives for them breaking up as like, it's too hard to be with a single dad. Like, our lifestyles are too different.
She literally produced tears in this finale, saying she is not even sure if she can be a mom because she's so into her own lifestyle. Well, now she is one, and she has kept that information to some degree, I suppose, secret for the last year and a half. There are no pictures of this child on.
How do you hide a baby for a year?
Or a guy that is like going to be the father of your children. But they did it all the way up until this week, like right as all this shit is coming out. And I guess, too, it's probably because there's like more scrutiny on them. These pictures that emerged of the baby daddy holding the baby, I don't like, they're like kind of paparazzi stalker style photos. So I'm sure people were looking into their lives a little more intensely because of the show coming out.
He's wearing sweatpants, a blue shirt, the baby's in blue.
Nice.
She's in a tie-dye purple and green outfit with a baseball hat, trying to hide.
Nice.
Not working.
The second piece of tea that we must mention involves Annie of Nick and Annie. Now, again, if you want the receipts, if you want to see the legal documents of the story I'm about to spin, go to Storytime with Rikkii. She got it all. This is the apparent story. Before coming into the shooting of Love is Blind, which happened in 2024, she was in a relationship with a guy in 2023. This guy claims that when they met, she had an ankle monitor on that was the result of a DUI she got. And one of their first dates or something, or she was mentioning that she needs to get pants that will cover the ankle monitor so that it won't be seen at her work. That's part of his story. The story continues. At some point, she steals his ID and goes to the Verizon store, gives them his ID and says, I need access to this guy's phone because I need to see if he's communicating with other women, essentially. The Verizon employees, noticing that this is a crime, immediately call the police. She is arrested for this, I believe. That part, I hope I'm right on that part, but check out Storytime with Rikkii. I believe she got arrested. At the very least, he filed a restraining order against her. And then ultimately, I believe all of the charges, he didn't want to press charges, and the restraining order was dropped, I believe. Again, Storytime with Rikkii has all the exact details, but all of that is part of her backstory that happened way before she was cast, or at least a year before she was cast on Love is Blind. They cast her anyway. And so it always, I am astounded when people with these kind of criminal histories, especially histories that involve domestic
romantic
issues, romantic partners, what have you, they still get cast in these shows. And it's like, if Storytime with Rikkii can do all this research in the span of a couple of days and literally has the court documents, the legal documents and shit, it's like, what are these producers doing?
Like, we talked about this a little bit on Casa Gore, but I tend to, on the sliding scale of like ignorance versus nefarious, I tend to always think it goes towards ignorance.
I don't.
I know.
It's every season.
It's a debate.
Like if you can merge all of the dating shows, like if you can put Bachelor and Love is Blind together for the past however many years, 4 or 5 that we know of, who the hell knows what happened before that? Every year, there's at least one person with a fucking restraining order in one of the casts.
Jen Tran's cast, like, my God, the allegations, insanity.
Exactly. And it's like, it's happening every season. So
it is unusual with a woman, though.
And at this point,
doesn't come up as much.
No, I agree. It is slightly out of the norm, but whatever. It's still a member of the cast who had a restraining order. If it happens once in any season, aren't you then 10 times more diligent the very next season about it?
I mean, Love is Blind, they don't seem to care. They're getting sued constantly. They're not changing anything about how they're casting.
It's so crazy to me. And
it is.
There's a simple workaround, in my opinion, for them, but they don't ever do it, which is we don't check backgrounds because we want this to be like the real world. The only thing we're taking out is that you can't see the person when you first start talking to them. All the other stuff is like, we give you your phone back. You can check them if you want.
If they don't check backgrounds, it's going to be 100% criminals.
But I mean, it's 100% criminals per season at this point, or lawsuits at this point. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, on their end, they could say that. They don't. And the way they present the show is that it's like, these are the most eligible singles in whatever city they're in. That they're like catches. Oh my God, you'd be lucky to be with any of these people. And it's like, well, I don't know about that now. I mean, sorry. Well, come on now.
I mean, we have like joked about going through people's phones before on this show, but taking the driver's license to Verizon is it seems like a very inefficient way to get someone's phone records.
And illegal. I mean, they called the cops per the thing I saw in Storytime with Rikkii. Immediately they were like, oh, wait a minute, you stole this guy's fucking ID? We're not giving you his phone.
It's wild.
Anyway, that's the tea.
It's a wild strategy.
So know all of that going into this finale, which for the first time in Love is Blind history, at least in the US, produced 0 weddings. And it's like, I just go back to, I believe it was season 5, Brett Brown, Tiffany Pennywell, they were one of my favorite 8 couples of all time. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of, theorizing and conjecture online that they were a ringer couple, that they perhaps knew each other or of each other from outside the show, already kind of liked each other, and that they were cast to kind of do their thing, and they did, and it worked.
They should have done that this season.
I have no problem with ringers.
Me
I have
either.
no problem with that shit.
I don't care if the couple's already married. Just have them act it out.
Exactly. It's like, you're telling us lies in this show anyway. That's kind of what it is. So give us a good lie. Don't do all the bad lies. Give us the good one. That's what you have to have. And
it's an experiment, Clues. I got to keep it clean.
Oh, I forgot. It's a big, big experiment. So,
I mean, there's still a 1% chance in my mind that was true of Trista and Ryan as well.
How dare you? That's a true love story. That's real.
I read that on the internet somewhere.
Maybe it is true. We don't know. But that's like part of the thing of all these reality shows that I don't get is like, we here at Game of Roses, and I would argue everybody in the pit understands that these shows are lies. Nothing that you're watching is real. Can actual relationships come out of these formats? Of course, that happens. That's a part of the nature of these things.
Look at baby Ezra.
Watching, what's that?
Look at baby Ezra.
Yeah, exactly. 6 years later.
Love is blind, baby.
I'm not saying that people can't fall in love in these shows or can't find each other and then fall in love after the show when they go back to real life or whatever. I'm not saying that it doesn't produce real lasting relationships, potentially even families. That certainly happens in all of these shows.
Mm-hmm. But that happens in arranged marriages where people don't know each other.
Right. Come on. It happens all the time, no matter what the scenario. But the thing you're watching is a lie every time. You are watching an edited, packaged version of a narrative that they want you to feel this way about this person and this way about this person and whatever. So if that's the case, if you're pre-packaging these things, if you're making them for entertainment, fucking entertain us with a promise of the premise. That's what you have to do in every season. You must have that A couple. It's the same in Bachelor. When you get a Bachelor in Paradise season where nobody gets engaged at the end, or a Bachelor season where the Bachelor or Bachelorette doesn't get engaged, it just feels like, what did we waste our time doing here? So cast ringers, make sure that happens. I don't
even care if it's like a boring couple or something, or it's like Body of a Dancer guy. They weren't maybe the most engaging couple on that season, but they're pregnant.
Yeah.
It's real.
Exactly. That's all we need is a little bit of truth in the giant lie that you're telling us, and we're fine with it. You know what I mean? We'll accept the restraining orders. Just give us a little bit of the 4TRR. That's what we need. Give me that 4TRR. Anyways.
All right, let's get into our finale recap.
Okay. To begin, I want to run down the Instagrams. As of today, we're recording this on 10/23. I'm not sure when this will be out, but as of 10/23, this is the day after the finale aired or dropped on Netflix. So we're recording on a Thursday. It came out on a Wednesday. I just wanted to go through the Instagram numbers for these players. All right. Now, we did in our last recap, we talked about the Instagram numbers for season 8's players. There are 5 of them over 100,000. I believe there were 10 of them over 50K. And there is one person from that season who was sitting at 580K roughly. That's where they are now. And granted, they've had a year or 6 months worth of time to boost those numbers and whatever. But I'm positive some of them were over 100K by the end of that season. As of right now.
And none of them have been on a spinoff show yet.
Correct. As of right now, Megan Sparkle, a.k.a. Sparkle Megan, a.k.a. Megan Willarius, a.k.a. the mom of a baby with a guy that's not Jordan, a.k.a. is at 83.9K. She is your leader for this season.
Wowie.
And that ain't good.
She got a lot of screen time.
Got a lot of screen time, except in the finale.
Triangle.
Her guy, Jordan, 66.3K. Then we have... Up next is Ali at 40.1K. Her guy Anton's at 11.2. Who is next here? Edmund? No, KB is at 35.3K. Edmund's at 28.5K. We've got Annie at 20.7. Nick is at 22.9. Joe is at 22.9. And Madison's at 42.3. So you have one player over 50K. No one over 100K. 0.
Yeah.
And that to me is indicative of a season that no one gave a shit about any of these players. That is the fault of the producers, period and only. There is a version of this season where Ali is cut to be your main character and she's well over 100K. They gave her no screen time after she and Anton had like the first proposal, which whatever, they all proposed on the same day. another horrible editing decision that they don't give you those 10 days in the beginning to kind of understand the real chronology of how these relationships play out. They disappeared her and Anton for like 2 episodes of the pods after they got engaged. It's like, well, I guess I don't even remember who they are or give a shit about them.
They had a very easy opportunity to have her do an investigation of all the strip club stuff. You can tell from those numbers that people were very much on her side versus Anton. And they gave him this full edit. They show him eating the croissant messily. They show him drinking during the reveal. There's a lot about him drinking. There's the strip club conversation. I do think she could maybe make it onto a perfect match. But these numbers are terrible.
They're in the toilet. We've never seen a season like this. And it's the only season without an engagement. That goes to show, what is it? The rising tide or sinking ships, rise all ships and tides. You know what that analogy is? I'm talking about rising tide raises all ships or something.
Yeah.
It's the same. Same is true in all these shows. If you have a big A couple that is going up, the other couples will see some runoff from that as well, generally speaking. And no one was that this season. Nobody was bringing everybody
wasn't
up.
Even like a well-regarded season. I think a lot of people thought it was boring. They did have a couple end up together, the Christmas couple, and they are in the top Instagram from that season. It's
She's the one with 580K.
The 4TRR they get followed.
Absolutely.
See what happens after the wedding. You
know what they should have done with the bachelor party? They should have had the bachelor party for the guys at a strip club.
Oh my God.
Why didn't they do that?
Figure out what Anton's haunts were, and then it's like they all know him by name.
He walks in, it's like Norm on Cheers. Anton!
Yeah.
Oh shit. Have you been here before? No, I don't know what this is. Do they have tequila here? What's tequila? All right, let's get into this.
God.
So our recap opens with Ali and Anton's wedding first. He is, from all of his ITMs and everything, claiming to be all in on her. She seems to be positioned as having some questions. In the course of this, we, of course, get the long, drawn out. She's in there with her friends. We see her come out in the wedding dress again. The moms come in. The weddings are... I still think this is true of every season.
Yeah.
They're so long and so boring. And we've already seen the wedding dress. You've ruined that in the wedding dress fittings. There's even the way they shoot this, there's no good reveal. She's kind of just chopped into the center of a frame. Oh, she's in the wedding dress now. They don't ever give the hero shot for the wedding dress, which I want so badly to just see a beautifully framed composition where you have your bride coming into an arched doorway and she's just double framed in the doorway and the frame of the film itself. And you get to see her just straight on looking right into the camera, hero pose. We never get that.
It's a lesson that I feel like Bachelor learns again and again too. It's treat your players like heroes, make them likable, make them, look good. You're going to get better casting if you do that.
Of course.
We see her talk to 1 million people during this. I saw a hilarious TikTok that was me watching my favorite show, and it's her watching the wedding episode, and she's just fast forwarding through all the Ali Anton wedding scenes.
Oh my God, that's funny.
She talks with her friends about him being a forever truck driver. I did like this intro of her 2 friends as 2 soon to be divorced women. Yeah. It's okay, where was this storyline? I want to hear about that.
Yeah. And then she goes, he makes really good money. Well, he makes good money, not really good money. And you're like, Jesus, let's just get legit. And then her Russian friend is like, you need to find the men who make money. That was my pay that man his money. You know that from Rounders, John Malkovich? He plays a Russian gangster who's into poker, and he's playing against Matt Damon, and Matt Damon beats him, and his thugs come up and are like, should we kick the shit out of Matt Damon? And he goes, no, pay that man his money.
Oh.
It's a terrible Russian accent. It's, I don't know, widely regarded as one of the worst Russian accents ever done in film.
Oh. I think if you filmed me doing it, it would be worse.
Let's hear it.
Anton,
please
pay this man his money. Are you okay?
That killed me.
Cruz is dying.
It's okay. I'll be
gruel
fine.
Is not working anymore.
Everything's fine now. I was compromised by something stronger than the gruel.
Anton kind of shits on Ali being high maintenance, but we know he's not going to say no. And we see the wedding day. Ali shits on the girl who gave her the strip club info and puts her down from dating the guy for 4 months to 3 months. Who knows if we could trust her?
She's only a girlfriend. You can't trust the words of girlfriends. What reason does she have to lie?
They also thought they weren't being filmed. They were in the bathroom.
But this could have also been producer malfeasance here. They could have told her, play that down. You got to make it look for the cameras like you might say yes.
Oh, 100%.
Invalidate the bad information.
I thought, okay, maybe she is going to say yes in this, which I haven't thought all season. But Ali is very good at playing this, I would say.
Yeah.
Anton meets with his mom. She's worried about his socks. She produces tears. Ali's sisters join. Ali produces tears. And we get to the wedding ceremony. Anton, I do. Ali, I can't be your wife. She produces tears. She does a beautiful squat cry with her family after she walks back down the aisle. And someone on Anton's side calls Ali a cold-hearted bitch. And Anton's mom says, that's what I thought. Cold hard effing B.
Yeah. Pretty brutal. Not anything you ever want to commit to a film. I agree. A total error here. Because it's like, this is all a lie. No one, in my opinion, like if you're feeling any type of way about any of these players for doing anything, don't send them the message. Don't call them these names. They're people in this weird reality TV show. Even if they're doing bad things in the reality TV show, it's like, who cares?
She's going to get sued $50,000 if she doesn't come to this thing.
Exactly. It's like, I don't think anybody truly can be held responsible for behaviors like this, deciding to end a relationship or break up with somebody or whatever. There's some behaviors, of course, that I think are bad and you shouldn't ever do on camera or otherwise, whatever. We've seen a bunch of that in all these shows. Yeah. But like to say no at the altar, that's kind of what the show is. That's like a move you can make in this show. I wouldn't ever begrudge anybody that.
It also just doesn't help Anton's victimization edit, which he theoretically could get from this moment. We then see Calabria and Edmund.
If I may, though, right here at this moment, the program was about an hour and 4 minutes of this finale. By the time we get to the end of Ali and Anton, we were about 26 minutes in, if I remember correctly. And I was looking at that being like, the math ain't right on this. If they give each of them 26 minutes, we're over by about 10 minutes. That's not right. What's going on here? And I immediately started to suspect that maybe we weren't getting 3 weddings.
Yeah, science clues. Figured it out.
You have to. Look, that's one of the good things I think about watching on streaming is you get your little timeline scroll bar. At least for me, I'm always putting together the episodes in my head, how I would edit them, given the footage, you know. And if it was 3 weddings, they'd each get an equal amount of time. And I'd give myself a 5-minute little thing at the end to celebrate whoever got married. That seems to be the kind of traditional editorial process for all of these Love is Blind finales. And I just noticed after this first one, I was like, the time don't match. We're in for something.
I just let them wash over me. I have no idea what's happening.
To each their own.
God. We get to the KB and Edmund segment. KB is tearsing. Edmund's loading level 4. He's tearsing. We see KB and her friends. Edmund and KB's mom have a long scene. And Edmund reveals that his mom, who we met in the meeting of the family, is not coming. Oh, brutal. God. I cannot, this whole segment was so hard to watch.
I agree 100%.
This man is damaged. He has had such abandonment trauma, and it's just, it's hard to watch. He definitely,
I mean, this is a question I have a lot too in these shows. When they select someone like Edmund, who's had a very hard life and like you're saying, abandonment issues with relationships, and you're throwing him into this strange experiment, you know, it's like, what do the producers expect of him, and what kind of support system are they giving him in these moments where he has already stated he has this relationship with his mom where she was not always there for him as a kid, and he was in and out of foster homes because she wasn't always present in his life, but that he has claimed now they've repaired that. He's forgiven her because he wants her to be part of his adult life now. He doesn't want to dwell on all this shit, but now his mom's not at the wedding, and all we're given, the only reason is she had prior engagements or something. And it's like, well, what are the producers doing to help him in this? Are they even obligated to? We know that the producers don't actually give a fuck about these people per the lawsuits that happen every season for wrongful imprisonment and not giving them food or medicine.
No mental health, not keeping them from the man with the gun.
But it's like, you know, at a certain point, I think there comes a time where, like, the fourth audience, it's kind of on us to raise enough of an outcry to, like, stop this kind of shit. This whole time I was like, this guy should not be in the show. Yeah. This is not good for him. This is going to make his life worse. And I think everybody watching it felt that. And it's another reason why this season is just a bad one. It wasn't just that we didn't get any weddings. It feels like what they were doing to this one specific player was extremely malicious.
Yes. And they know what's going to happen, what KB's decision is going to be. And they're just making it even more intense by flying out the teacher. And oh, God.
Thank God he had that teacher. Miss Welsh steps in here at a certain point to play his surrogate mom, basically. She shows up, and we basically get this backstory between them that she saw something in him when she first taught him in the 5th grade that made her a better teacher, made her understand how to connect with the kids she was teaching, and that she'll always be there for him. He'll always be special to her. And he even calls her mom number 2. And she's like, I'll always be here for you. It's this super sweet moment between them. But still, even she in her face, meals. Yeah, gave him meals when he, you know, potentially didn't have any. Even in that moment, I'm picking up tones from her that are like, you shouldn't be doing this, dude. This is fucked. You can see in her eyes, like, her heart is breaking for him, not because of whatever's potentially happening at this wedding, but almost because of, like, the apparatus around it all that is like exploiting him for his emotional trauma, basically, you know? And
100%. It feels very exploitative.
Yeah. It's one thing when it's like Hannah Ann Sluss in Champagne Gate or something, where it's like, fine, exploit them. That's what they're bred to do. These, like, little proto influencers, you know. But Edmund is like a different deal. This is a guy who's, like, had a super hard life, super damaged, and now you're throwing him into this thing that is designed to produce nervous breakdowns. It just seems very unfair of the producers, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially when you know which way it's going. It's not like he's having, like, some sweet redemption love story.
Yeah, that too. Absolutely. Like, I'm 100% convinced they knew what Calabria was going to say, what her answer was going to be. And they put them up there anyway.
Of course.
And why? Because they believe that is, in quotes, good TV or drama or whatever. Also, it's getting down to the wire where, like, they had 5 couples coming out of the honeymoons. Now they're down to 3. And they're like, shit, what are we going to do? Only shoot 2 wedding dumps? We got to have a 3rd wedding dump. And then they know already that Jordan and Megan Wallerius they're broken up. So they're like, we have to have at least 2.
Yeah.
And so that's just it. That's the way the cookie crumbles for poor Edmund.
We see the wedding ceremony. Edmund's dad is there. But the teacher, Miss Welsh, walks him down the aisle. Oh, God. She definitely gets my Sweet and Um's familial award of this episode. And we get the ceremony. Edmund's producing tears. Of course, he says, I do. And KB goes, and Edmund lets out this guttural scream. This is so brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. It's also my face play of the game, but
it was great face play. He made a bunch of great face plays, but yeah, it's like to elicit that reaction from a human being, that's like seeing a loved one die in front of you or something would elicit something like this. And it's like to put that
hurting
guy
a child
through that much pain, that much torture. For me as a member of the fourth audience, all I'm thinking in that moment is like, could this have been avoided? The trauma suffered upon this man. Could this have been avoided? 100% yes. The producers knew it was coming. They could have saved him from this. Instead, they force him to go through it. And I don't know what portion of the fourth audience is like, watching the show in that way, aware that producers are making this happen to that guy for what they believe will be our entertainment. I'm not entertained by that. I don't want to see shit like that in the show. No. Edmund's not a villain.
No, I do not like watching people get tortured. That's why I don't watch World's Toughest Test.
I see. But come on. You don't want to see Nick Viall get tortured? You don't want to see Sandoval get tortured?
I don't want to see anyone maybe made a fool of in a music challenge. Yeah. But not torture.
But that torture on that show is all, they choose to stay there. You can tap out anytime you want. That's what the whole show is. You can be like, I'm done. Fuck it. It's like, can you persevere through these rigorous challenges? Watch that. All right.
And KB, you're like wondering the whole time, is this a breakup? Is it whatever? And KB's like, you deserve 100 at the altar. My no doesn't mean I don't love level 4 you.
Yeah.
He produces tears. They step off to the side and talk, and she goes, you're a stepping stone I couldn't figure out, which was my answer.
Brutal.
Oh, God.
Stepping stone. You never want to be called a stepping stone.
No. And he cries on the mountain, and Miss Walsh does a STCO. What?
I once got told I was on someone's bench.
What does that mean?
Like in their roster. Basically. And I was like, it's cool. I'll be on your bench. Give me a call.
But they didn't say the position?
I don't know. I don't know how that even fits into the analogy. It was basically like, we went on a date and she's like, I really like you, but I'm kind of seeing somebody else. I'm going to put you on my bench. And I was like, all right, let me know. Okay. And then I did eventually get the call, and I became the starting whatever position you want for a minute there.
Up to the big leagues.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Then I got traded to a different team.
You're on my bench. Well, a bench is definitely better than a stepping stone. At least you're still in the game.
Yeah. Stepping stone is like, the image of it is that she's literally like stepping on his head to push him down into the mud as she springs off to find her love everlasting. Pretty brutal thing to say. Nonetheless, we do see, Miss Welsh comes out and consoles him in this beautiful shot where they're standing literally in the rough on this golf course, and he's crying and she's consoling him. And we now have, at the end of this dumping, 11 minutes left of the program. And I'm now 100% certain we are not getting another wedding scenario. And indeed, we don't. We see Jordan and Megan in regular clothes. He walks into her apartment, and we get this scene where they're sitting on the couch, and she keeps claiming, we're different people. You're simple. You eat the same things every day. And he's like, so how does that make us incompatible? And she says, he's encouraging her to do all these things that she likes to do on her own, but she's been doing them on her own her whole life. She wants to do them with someone else. And I guess now she's doing those things with this other dude. And she's like, I didn't realize how rigid your schedule was. And he's like, I'm a normal guy. I told you you're going to have to make sacrifices. I got a kid. And he's like, you have 5 years on me, by the way, referring to their finances, that she's in this position to never have to work again. And he's not quite there yet. And she says, you're very easy to love. I leaned into the opposites attract thing, but now I have reservations, and that's not how I should feel going into our wedding. And she's like, I'm sorry for not feeling more compassion for you and understanding, giving you what you needed in a fiance, but I can't do this. And it's a dump. And she love level 4s him and says, but it doesn't feel right. Bunch of tears produce tears. She thanks him for introducing her to Luca. He, in an ITM, says that's his only regret is doing that. They hug for one last time. He says if he had more money, he thinks they'd still be together. And she ITMs, she didn't think through how challenging this was going to be. She says, I question if I'm even cut out to be a mom. Well, we now know she is a mom. A year and a half later or whatever. And if we're looking at a standard human 9-month gestational period, that means she was creating that baby relatively quickly after this dump, within the span of maybe 4 months ish, I would say.
That's a fast baby.
Yeah. 4 or 5 months.
Was this man, it makes me wonder, was this man in the picture beforehand? I
wonder the same thing. Now, will we get to the bottom of that at the finale or the reunion? I don't fucking know.
Rikkii will tell us.
But yeah, we get this kind of unceremonious dump here. She says, I'm always going to love Jordan, but he's not my partner. And that's the end of it. Then we end the episode with the weird new title treatment thing of a wedding ring hitting the bottom of a glass after it was thrown into champagne or something. I don't even know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, with a bunch of quick pops of everyone in chaos and misery at the end.
Crying and shit, riding their final limo ride out in the end, away from the wedding venue.
As opposed to any wedding reception or whatever.
It was just a disaster of a season. And I know that they've already shot, I think, the next 2. I think. They've at least shot the next 1, I think, which will probably be out if... past seasons or any indicators, that'll be out right around Valentine's Day. They usually drop on that. What is the next city? Hang on. Let me see if I can find this.
Do LA, you cowards. You'll get weddings out of that.
That ain't no shit.
I guarantee it. Because then they can have their follow-up shows.
The season 10 is Boston, New England area. So that'll be interesting. We'll get some good accents there, I'm sure. That'll be fun.
Oh, the Boston.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. What happened there?
Red Sox. I was trying to think of a sports team.
Oh, I thought you were trying to figure out how to do the accent.
The Boston Red Sox.
There you go. Yeah, that ain't bad. It's more of a Chicago.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, that was a grocery. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, reality dating TV is in such an interesting place right now overall. The big 3 pillars of it, Bachelor, Love is Blind, Love Island, they are each doing completely different things. Love is Blind has just hit its bottom. We've never seen a season this bad. No weddings. Nobody's hitting 100,000 on Instagram. You've only got one person over 50K as of the airing of the finale. No one was likable. It was just cast poorly, produced poorly, edited poorly. Like every element of the season was trash, in my opinion. You've got Bachelor, which has hit their bottom sometime last year, I would guess, with Jen Tran's, horrifying moment.
Hopefully that's the bottom. I don't know. Yeah. Golden Bachelor is pretty bottom.
Yeah, maybe, but Golden Bachelor is like, I know it's a Bachelor product, but it's not the main show. It's more, I think of Golden Bachelor more like a successful Listen to Your Heart. It's like an offshoot. You know what I mean?
Ooh, roasted.
Well, I mean, let's not beat around the bush. That show tanked as well. But I think in terms of the main game of Bachelor, I'm talking about Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise. We also had a very bad Bachelor in Paradise season, but it's in a rebuilding year. And now we're heading into what could possibly be the biggest season of the main franchise of all time, with Taylor Frankie Paul as the Bachelorette, which will be airing probably late January. They're shooting.
Get it in the can.
Today,
Get
tomorrow.
It in the can.
I think they're doing it now.
They're starting today or tomorrow?
I believe the guys are coming out now, and I think they shoot Monday maybe or Tuesday, night one.
I just want them to get it in the can.
Yeah.
Just record. Press record.
And then you've got Love Island hitting its peak. Like it has never been more popular. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Love Island Games. It hasn't like hit my radar, so I don't know how successful that was. But again, that's its offshoot. The main Love Island USA game, season 6 was the biggest season ever. Season 7 was bigger than that. You've got these massive mega stars coming out of it, multiple of them in every season. And it's just firing on all cylinders. It's basically gobbling up the audience of all these other shows. And now, like watching this season of Love is Blind, it feels obviously poorly cast, but like antiquated in some way. It's like it doesn't get it. It feels old to me now.
Yeah, it's... I just think of what we saw Hada doing on Love Island this season, and it's like, that's the bar.
I agree 100%.
And we had nothing close to that. And I would say it like, you know, sometimes I enjoy the mess, the chaos of Love is Blind, and watch like seeing how some of the couples are going to break up. I did enjoy some of the Joe monologues, like whatever was happening there was like funny sometimes, but also he was so mean about weight and stuff that it's hard to enjoy.
Yeah.
You have the homophobia conversation. It's just Megan got the most screen time, and she's like obsessed with money and was into the guy in the tribe. Like, it's just not a lot to hold on to.
Yeah. I mean, there's the kind of difference is in all of these shows really is like the depth to which the show requires a player to go in the relationship. Like Love Island is, you're going an inch deep, if anything. You know what I mean? You're asking,
you can break
like,
up in the finale.
Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite candy? Maybe the deepest question you're going to get in a couple, you know, over the course of a season. And that's great. Like I like to watch a game like that is really about play and memes and what, like, can you give me at a surface level? Stripping. It's all visual. Like I like that type of a game because it's all game. I would say Bachelor is somewhere in between Love is Blind and Love Island in that you have that kind of influencery style play and you can have some pettiness and whatever. But at the end, you are supposed to have a real relationship, a real engagement, but you can end that in like 3 months if you want. No one will give a shit.
It builds to an engagement. Love is Blind is trying to build to forcing marriages.
Exactly. Legal fucking union. Yeah. Where you are talking about real things. Like Love is Blind is the only one of these shows where you see conversations about politics and abortion
prenups.
and prenups, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like it requires a little more of the players to like hunker down and do some real 4TRR work. But I don't like, that's all fine. All that's admissible in any of these games. But you are seeing like right now, and I don't know if this is like causal, but the game that is the most surface level is the biggest game. And that should kind of, I think, tell us something about how audiences are engaging with this, that it's like, we do want just that, a kind of like frivolous fun. Let us live vicariously through these people who are living in a like fantasy dream world that's full of neon pink and purple shit. And just like, oh God, yeah, they're twerking now. Oh shit, Megan Thee Stallion came in. He's throwing a fucking spider on somebody's head. You know, that's good. And that's funny. And it's like, if you have a game that operates on these deeper levels and you can't deliver on them, you're fucked, which is what this season 9 was.
Yeah, we're not getting the same level of escapism.
Exactly. The escapism of Love is Blind and to some degree Bachelor is an escapism of like perfect love, that you have found the star-crossed, destined, fated person who is your other half. And oh my God, through this crazy process and no. And then when you do get married in the end and it lasts and you get to see on the reunion, it's a year later and you're still together and maybe you're pregnant and all this. And it's like, oh, fuck, that's amazing. We love that. That's the fantasy we have to live out through these more serious games. Whereas Love Island, the only fantasy is just like, fuck, I wish I could twerk like that. You know, that's basically it. I wish my ass looked that good. Jesus Christ.
I can twerk that good.
I don't know if I can twerk. I do.
Let's see.
I do know.
Let's see you try it. I do know.
I did it. I did it once at the behest of someone.
Oh my God.
And I got high marks. I got high marks.
Oh my God. I cannot imagine. By the way, if you want a pick-me-up Love is Blind, not necessarily that the relationships last, but that they are like more likable people, I would say. Love is Blind France this last season, I really enjoyed.
Yeah. And once again, whatever you feel about any of these players from Love is Blind season 9 or any reality show, don't send them mean shit. You don't know these people.
Don't.
Send them only complimentary things, support in their time of need, because all these players right now are fucking going through it. I can guarantee that.
They're going through it, and they're not even getting Instagram numbers.
Exactly.
They're just getting the death threats. Like,
yeah, have some sympathy for them. But that's it. That winds up the season. We'll be back next week with a recap of the reunion, as well as our season-ending awards for Love is Blind, who was our play of the season, face play of the season, error of the season, bystander of the season, play of the season, and MVP. I believe those are and creature of the season.
Miss Walsh would have been my MVP for this episode.
Oh, for sure. She was fantastic.
She was great. We also are doing the reunion on Kasagor, as well as Slomwa season 2, which is fantastic. So join us.
Slomwa, for those who don't know the terminology, is Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on our patreon.com/Game of Roses. Join us there, and you get ad-free episodes, everything early, etc. And thanks for joining us this season. Praise be Dark Lords Lachey.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us, and then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.